things first. A user by the name of AbbeyNormal has been shamelessly vote-botted. I have nothing but contempt for whoever did this, knowing that her channel is small and therefore it will be hard for her to make up the lost ratings. I urge you to do what you can, rate her videos as you see fit, and redress this blatant attack on free speech. Now, Brock. You claim that atheists cling to Hume like a life raft, and I think that's a good analogy. In a stormy sea of wild claims, Hume shows us clear and unambiguous rules for how we should treat them. Descriptive claims unsupported by evidence should be dismissed. They are useless. Normative claims made based on descriptive evidence should be dismissed because they are unsupported. Unfortunately, we live in an empirical world. All we have, as you rightly say, are our senses. When we make a law, it seems as though we have to make a normative claim. Let's say, murder should not be allowed. And on what basis can we do this if not on descriptive evidence? Your approach is to try and short-circuit the descriptive and allude to a normative code of ethics handed down by a deity. But this is where our old friend Euthyphro comes in. Even if God could be demonstrated as having handed down normative moral judgments, that does not make us moral if we adopt them. It merely makes us obedient. And if God happens to have said them but they come from elsewhere, what is that source? And given Hume's law, can it be descriptive? But this is advanced stuff. It really is, and we can avoid the whole tangled mess by using a much sounder approach. Empiricism works, Brock. It really does. It's delivered you a mass communication medium to put out your videos. It brings you a wide variety of food at prices you can afford from all over the world, a lifespan 3 or 4 times that of your forebears, and technology which they would have seen as magic. So my question to you is this: why can't we rely on empiricism to demonstrate whether your claim that morals are handed down by God is true? We can empirically demonstrate that some things commonly considered good by humans have animal precedence, thus indicating their source. But how can we empirically demonstrate that God did the same? There are many videos debunking the cosmological, teleological, transcendental, and presuppositional arguments for God, but even if any of them were true, none demonstrate a law-giving, caring, interventionist God. As there is no evidence to support that particular God claim, we can just dismiss it and avoid the mess. So you may well ask me, in that case, where does my moral code come from? What standards do I decide? I am an unashamed pragmatist. Philosophical debate interests me only to the extent that it can be useful to promote my prime and indeed only concern, increasing the great sum of human welfare and understanding. That is what I live for. It is my sole, self-defined purpose. It is also my only ethical standard. From it, I work backwards and use insights from my profession, economics, and especially behavioral economics, to deduce that the only way human welfare can be maximized in any given system is if people have the right to life, bodily integrity, property, free speech, etc. I don't consider these rights innate or self-evident or endowed at birth. It is merely essential to assume them in order to achieve what I want. There's nothing true or natural about them. I merely behave as if they were innate and endowed. And so do you. Our behaviour is indistinguishable. We both have a set of what we see as intrinsic moral and ethical values and rules, and we apply them. Now I would argue that my values, which are directly based on increasing the sum of human welfare and are thus capable of adapting, are better than yours, which are aimed at fulfilling the supposed moral prescriptions of God. You'll counter by saying that we endanger ourselves by disobedience, but that's not true in this life. It raineth on the just and the unjust alike, and seeing as we have no evidence whatsoever for an afterlife, I think we can dismiss that argument. Now zoom out and consider the bigger picture. You're proposing a theistic universe, and you're not providing any evidence. The cosmological, teleological, and transcendental arguments are a waste of time, and presuppositional apologetics are ridiculous. So given that I've explained the godless source of my morality, and given there's no evidence to support your worldview, my question to you is this: what basis do you have to endure in your belief?